During my time at the business communications class, I went through many ups and downs and experienced tremendous growth. Let's explore this journey that I had with COM 395. The first step is the initial thoughts going into the class. I have a confession to make. If I'm being blatantly honest, I entered the communications class lacking humility. I believed that the course would not be valuable to my career or skill set because I had the impression that I was already a top-notch speaker who excelled at storytelling, having a good pace, good tone, and effective body language. The idea was further ingrained in my mind by having won multiple public speaking and case competitions throughout high school as well as university. But as I completed my speeches, reflected on each one, and witnessed some great presentations from my peers, I realized this was far from the truth. Next, we're going to observe the issues I experienced during the process. When I received my grade for my informational speech, I was really upset. My ego could not comprehend how I could manage to get anything less than an A on a public speaking presentation. But when I took the time to rewatch the video performance of myself, I was shocked at the number of flaws that I had seen. Blaring issues included speed of my voice being too fast, the flow being not consistent with some awkward pauses, using too many filler words, as well as too many gestures to the point of it being distracting, and saying different words than I intended to. I had never watched my own speech recorded back to me, and therefore this was the first time I could see my flaws by a third party, and it was eye-opening. I realized what Bowker had said about your first presentation being nice about grading was actually true. I did not deserve the grade I already thought was low. I deserved lower. But now, how did I manage to improve these issues? Well, it began with first getting my ego in check about my abilities. And for my next speech, I analyzed my errors and took Burak's feedback on my first presentation to heart. I eventually spent double the amount of time on my persuasive presentation compared to the explanatory. I completed over 15 different video recordings, each time focusing on improving one or two issues, then gradually working on all different areas until they significantly improved. When I gave my persuasion presentation, the progress was evident from an improved grade and from Burak's positive feedback, but even after this time, there was still flaws. Having an awkward stance when speaking, and still saying actually too frequently. Then I performed the same recording and practicing process I did for my group presentation, and this is when I experienced significant growth. After building my confidence back up, I then took Professor Bowker's advice to go full out for my personal commitment speech. In this speech, I pushed boundaries with incredible amounts of emotion through the change of tone of voice. I took risks with jokes and humor to engage my audience, and I structured the entire speech with 3 stages and multiple turning points and climaxes as taught by Bowker. And going all out clearly paid off by being an exemplar in class and getting an A+. But that's not all I learned. There's also key concepts that I learned in the class that will carry on with me throughout all my presentations now and throughout my professional career. Firstly, and most important, is the structure of storytelling. Effective storytelling consists of breaking the story into different stages and focusing on building anticipation, having several climaxes and turning points, and finishing with a strong conclusion. Secondly, keeping gestures within the gesture box to reduce the amount of distractions and unnecessary motions. Thirdly, using my strengths of invoking emotion through altering my voice, as well as not being afraid to go all out and really engage the audience. Lastly, there's also key concepts that I learned in general and for life. The first one being humility. Even if I believe that I'm fairly confident in my abilities for a certain topic, I really changed my mindset and learned to go from, I'm already good at this, but instead, how can I use this experience to improve what I already have? The second one is being a good audience member. Many of my peers gave incredible speeches, and through my experience of having an attentive and engaged audience allows for a much better overall experience for everyone. So thank